Heaven's Gate. In the triangle. I won't say it again, she said. I've loved you always. I could see her. I thought, snappy woman. Snappy woman it seems, isn't she? Yes. That was his secret mission. Oh, I see. In the triangle. It was convened to discover the reason the body was found mutilated. In the crash. He's in the cell. Cell 54. RM. That's the initials. Richard Marble they stand for. He was court-martialed. Of course. Yes, I see now. Barrister, plane, crash, operation, flew into the vortex. This area here, it's... Yes, his vision. Oh, I see, and... That's when he saw her. Yes, it was recorded. Like a television photograph, a flight recorder. The crash was he. A body. Flew. Look, Sergeant, up here on the surface of the silver, it's a flight of the Holy Ghost, it's headed. It's called into the ring of... The vortex is marked here, decreasing circles of evil and live. And he saw her at the bar and then crashed. The surgeon said his memory, the operation. Yeah, it's being recorded here in the pirate machine. Listen. To what his memory said. The pilots got through the test somehow. I don't understand how this pilot got through, really. Something happened in the dive. Dive. The flight recorder. So the plane crashed. These scientists and doctors, they were doing tests, experiments. Yeah, they were trying to work out how to fly into the vortex. I see, in the scenario for the end of the Earth, in case that happened, the aim or the quest of the scientists was to work out how to approach Heaven's Gate, the gate, and open it up. Pilots would fly in at the opening and hopefully see Jesus and Magdalene and the angels all there. I see, this strange... happening, though. In the test flight, the test pilot was... crashed. Here he is, and we're listening to what happens on the operation, the bed, as he's in the theatre, and they're taking down the notes, and they're trying to get the details of what happened were recorded in his brain when the flight recorder recorded the crash, the body, the flight, the crash of him. It's a strange thing written here. Detective? Strange notes. I'm trying to use the braille to work over the expert from the detective's area that reads the braille. Blind, it says angels. I see. It says here that they were persecuted on Earth. It's written down like a slab. It's got a name, Antoinette. So it says they're sending a message. They can't help us. because of the karma that we must work out. Persecution, so they moved to Mars. Rejected men, says here. I accept the strange notice, except the 17th. Signed Amazons. Strange, and I remember there was a ambassador came to plead. The Earth ambassador came to plead of the angels, but I remember now the angels have a list of grievances. Of course, the princess, I see the princess is the queen, Princess de Lamballe. A list of grievances and repentances. It's a pledge to redeem. Say for 1,000 years. We've got to make up for it. And the children also. We've got to balance. The murders. Les bien. Go on, we've got to listen to the next piece that was heard. It's been recorded in the flight recorder in the cortex. It's called The Branded Women. There were 5 branded women. Joan, Antoinette, Magdalene, Judith, Princess de Lamballe. She was the link. That's why they did it. They were tried because she was the link. Yes, the committee of public safety. But they neglected. Yeah, they gave an excuse. Rights to the people, a facade. Not the idealists, but the killers took over. 1917, 1789. Now, Egypt. Recorded in a camera. Translation, Sarge. Do the translation. Child was 18. Hello, child. 18. From the king and queen within, a metaphysical sheen that ghosted like Hamlet's Ophelia. Queen, insane like her, they had called me, she said. She wrote in her confession before them as they played cards below the cross, coins for her life. And yet I believed the Tantra that had produced the child had given me in the train of the terrain of the mind, outside the box, the coffin, the space. It's easy to get outside. All you have to do is imagine the infinite outside the finite. The DNA the autopsy revealed after 7 years. Richard Marble came back to find the evidence. The court-martial lawyer he was. He was a member of the ritual group, a member of the ring. A head. The Lucifer Bugle, yeah. They've marked him down here, they've called him. Call it again, Sarge, I can't hear. Doesn't make sense, Sarge. The Lucifer Bugler. Superintendent, it says here. Bang, that's why we went in. Do you remember? A doll. The Suzanne, it was found. He was a bugler, the court-martial lawyer. He'd been a lawyer in the army, studying it. Yes, that's right. I see this child. It's this... Just check out these birth certificates if there are any. Come down through the ring. Each of these 5 branded women had the DNA of earlier families and ancestral lines and were joined. I see what he was doing now. They were joined and they had the child in him with the Y chromosome sperm, and the egg produced. The mother was Mary Lady Sampson. Redemption, my friend. Letters here from Richard Marble I found at the affidavit. The chemical solution that I used from the serum is reappearing. I'm transferring James to David. Becoming he is a metamorphosis process gone forward, has ended. I can leave now. It's over. The plastic plasma has changed. The nuclear explosion has happened. The Russian roulette was a front, just a illusion, an idea. It was all for the inquiry. The inquiry was an idea, an illusion to fool, to explain why mass cadets were disappearing. Russian roulette. They got out. They all escaped. We used it as a trick to let them get out. A coffin, a door, an idea mirrored the mind that was reduced by the army, conditioning, deteriorating and reduced to this blind killing. The DNA we changed, we moved to make them more peaceful and retain their assertive ability, but be balanced. That was Evil and Live, the ritual. Card said, a pirate, a mark. A pirate? Yeah, well, here's these. You see, these knickers, these things. That's where I got onto it. That's a connection. Look at them. Look at it. Look at it. Look at him. It's not him. It's the Sister Veronica, the priest. Yes, of course. I see what you mean. Quick, rip that last page out and get an idea to have a look at the front of what happened and when we found the items. Doll, dress, Madame Defarge's, mermaid, Black Madonna, of course, items. Do you remember I questioned you? I said, why are you putting these in? An effigy, a doll, and you said there's a clue. Like Christ, the statue, this little effigy, and the evidence. The clue was that Christ died, and there was a crucifix, and when we found this hanging, Richard Marble, he was hanging like a massacred, crucified, mutilated crucifix. Yes, of course, in a Defarge dress. So it gave me the hint, the test. You see, I could see Alicia, her face turning. It was this totem, little statuette I found in Africa. The old tribes, ancient. Actually, I can remember, speaking of film stars, reading in an autobiography by Kirk Douglas that he wrote of it. Well, it's not Jewish, is it? Well, he said he found it in tribes in Africa, in the west coast. Yeah, the Gold Coast, or the area around there in French Equatorial Africa it was. That's the area when he was filming on location, a film about the French in Ecuador. You know what I mean. Yeah, and don't wander off into that stupid sidewind sort of detour, half-baked bastard bloody attitude you've got, will you? Okay, knock it off. I'm just a child who grew up like everybody else. Well, you're a detective, aren't you? Oh, God. I found this, and you see on the front of this effigy they had the indentation of a child's face, and under it a caption which said, when I translated it, it was Latin originally. Latin! Speak Latin? Well, the Spanish and French went there in the 14th century. It's a secret, it says. Secret. Read it here. Well, quick, turn the page at the last. I see. Then I worked it out, you see. Smashed the glass, we found the pieces, the DNA sperm left evidence. Right? Yeah. The vase, the head. It's shaped like a, turn it over, you can see, swimming upstream to the egg. Yeah. Okay, well, they had to find the excellence. Yeah. The right one. It's a model construction. Scientist in a lab. A little mannequin, really. An icon. Yeah, that's what it means. We had to crack the case, find out what this is, and we have. We found it. Through this, the DNA. It was based on difference. You see the X. It met in the middle, and these were geniuses. Genii. Okay, well, that's what they were. There were 10, 11, 12, and they met together, and that's why they were having a child. And the line, the DNA came right down through the line, and the basis was difference. That's what matched. Difference. X, 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 Y. Difference from the rest of the human race. That's what they had. They were aristocrats. That's a bit elitist, isn't it? Oh, Democrats, elitists, who knows, who gives a fuck? Obviously they did, because that's what they were trying to do. Fuck the right one so that you could get the child produced, the king and the queen, presumably from the Russian line. And they were fucked up because of the Spanish soldier who was introduced, who seduced, who she was with. And that's why they excluded her and killed us with this DNA. Result evidence, which is obsolete now and superseded again and has never had a rendition, a repeat. And then, I see. Oh, apart from that, the one that they alleged she was, I'm calling her that now because they didn't base it on a basis of difference, they based it on the same. Yeah. It says, and well, it stated, I did some investigation and found that the one that they alleged she was 200 years before the Polish aristocracy anyway. Right, so she probably crossed over with Catherine I. She looked stocky and peasant-like. Yeah, there's the link. Okay, and it runs down, straight down through the line, through the Tsar. Yeah, and remember his head and the sword point. And it's Anastasia was Anna Anderson. That's it. Okay, the quest. Over. That's the autopsy. Okay, the surgeon opened up. Yeah, found the naked body. Yep. Inside. Right, well, it was just symbolic. It was the priest's clothes, and inside was Sister Veronica. Yes, of course I've got it now, and that's how they found the black panties. They tested and touched the DNA, and it matched the pirate. The pirate... what's wrong now? Can't talk? I'm being restrained. I think the angels from another dimension are restraining me. They don't want me to say anymore. They want me to hide it. It's hidden. Oh, for God's sake, go on with it, will you, detective? Oh, God! That rabbit spoke to me now! God! Fight! You don't think we were an experiment? Went wrong? By God? Left abandoned? In our Earth? Southeast part of the galaxy, planet. Our father and mother, parents, left us because we were failures, went awry. I don't know, that's a cliched idea, I've heard that a few times. But that doesn't mean it isn't true. I mean, our parents or God, he's turned his back on us and all he shows to us is his shoulders. And sometimes turns and out of a sense of, well, long forgotten, half remembered, perhaps he likes us. He remembers and does his duty and helps us. But for now, it's a battle of angels. It's all only make believe. Hear them soaring off ahead? Sister Veronica, the Countess de la, starting all over again. Branded, criminal, circle, slut, named, branded, witches excluded, starting all only make believe. That's right, Sergeant. Hey, you've worked it out, super. A bugler. Played the bugle. A bugle called Rag. It's called. It was done by Glenn Miller and Gene Krupa. Super? For your time, Sarge. For your time. My great-grandson, down the line. The discoverer. This spiritual skin grafting I'd transferred from the picture. Yes, patch by patch. Private areas. I built it. Made love to Marie. Had the Immaculate Conception. Opened the vault, the vortex, the pages, the pirate machines. Music had come to me out of the ether. At last I'd got there, past the barrier, the brain's barrier of the horizon, which I'd been shot down and crashed and caught in the middle and stuck. This overall quilt of space-time that formed the pattern of the universe I lived in. I'd been strangled. A snake. A boa constrictor. I'd strangled myself. Drowned in the patch quilt when I'd been, as a surgeon, conducting the skin grafting so I could turn on her and use her and get her necrophilia. Oh, it wasn't that. She was there. She was Sleeping Beauty, the legend, Snow White. I kissed her and I played the role of Prince, and I had intercourse with her and impregnated her, and she came alive, opened her eyes. Union of one, all between us of souls. Yes, Marie, I, inside, her soul. I, a slab, in there, flattened out like an ironing board now, live in her. The vampire's grave. The twisted sister no more. The Rain. Hear the rain? There's roses and thorns outside in the garden, and I can see it now. I stand here, it's 16th century. I can see a chamber. Evelyn? I can see them all over the horizon. Laura. The Elizabethan era. That's to where I wanted to get. Home now. Thrown back no more. Gills of the child. Gone. I can breathe now. Stuck in this form. Lagoon. Black lagoon creature. Marie, it was no use. I had tried. I could remember now. She was doing the Immaculate Conception. Yes, she was. The angels, the spirits. She was trying to inveigle them. The angels, the spirits. Bring them in. I thought she was the poetess and muse of the Eastern Mediterranean Accra. And she was trying herself and be impregnated by the angel. But I saw her. There was a face. Audrey, I saw her there. I saw her there. And all the space-times changed instantaneously, and crack, smash, the lightning. That's what... Debbie had been whirling. She was there. A dervish. A ballet. And I saw him come down, rush, descend. And he entered her. And then Debbie made love to her. Occurred. I stared at the face of Magdalene at the altar, the eyes. She was staring at me, line, as if she was at the back of my body and head. A boy smiled. The nurse! It was the nurse. She was ordering us. Fuck these patients. Fuck these patients. In this asylum, that's exactly what occurred. These were twirling. circle was twirling and bringing them in. It was the vortex, the mandala of the Aborigines, and sucking them in. The angels. The music was flat. I looked out the window this day, overlooking Brighton, the buildings. Reminded me, strangely, of Rome. Then I looked around and I felt a surge of colour. They used to call it sea blue or romantic blue or seahorse blue, surf, silver, galvanizing, shone. The eyes sparked and flashed, and I felt good. I felt the way I feel when I look at woman. The devil had been framed. Jersey, Lucifer, Lucy. Lucy made life wonderful, beautiful. Everything shimmered and thrilled when she walked around me and smiled and looked back over her shoulder. Laurie was another name. I used the actress Vera Miles as a model once for her. Gorgeous, absolutely beautiful woman. And Rita Hayworth. My God, I'd never seen anything so beautiful as Rita dancing and twirling. And Lucille Bramer. There was another. A trio, all devils. And look at them now. There they were. They're daughters of this era, this century, reincarnated, and I don't care what you say, but for a male, it turns me on. These girls, their curves. And when I say girls, I mean girl women. The girl in the woman. The innocence, the excitement, the cheekiness. The devil, the imp. That's what makes life worth living. The devil. And the girls, the girl woman. She knew how to stoke it and stir it, and when it's gone, life's miserable. But maybe that's what they want. Flat. The French Revolution. Wrecked it. That's the source of it. Madame Defarge, toothless. Yet look at Marie Antoinette. Gorgeous, sexy, fashionable. They can't stand it. They murdered it. Yes, they've got the excuses. Extravagance. Oh, God. Have you met anyone of either sex who wouldn't be extravagant with a lot of money? And who doesn't want a lot of money? Everyone. Almost, don't they? Okay, it's frivolous and we know that it's shallow and flaky, but... You know, do you think you should murder one and decapitate them and separate them from their soul, head, body? Because they like parading in a dress with their friends and they're lesbians or whatever they are. Who cares? Call them what you like. It's her choice. She couldn't have a child by Louis XVI for 5 years and she had friends. But then nothing's proved. It's just a myth. Perhaps we should call them the bisexuals of the French court. But then it's natural, isn't it? Freud said it's natural, the natural condition. But I don't know, I'm just a professor, a surgeon, trying to observe and trying to do a treatise for my next, oh my God, notes on my new psychiatric thesis. The Twisted Sister. Ta-da. I guess I should give an acknowledgement to Raymond Chandler. The Little Sister. Title always impressed me, so I'm going to have a go at an echo of it. Yes, but Antoinette and her friends, the Princess de Lamballe, yes, what was it they called it? The French Revolutionaries, Robespierre. It was exciting, wasn't he? Yeah, he made the imagination flare. I don't think he called the lesbians there, or at least his scribes did, and they put her in this area and sliced her head off and executed and frustrated the air. Well, I don't know whether it's true or false, but I do know that she was a young woman, a young girl of 15, thrust into the midst of this, and I think she conducted herself brilliantly. A grown woman then, and at the scaffold raised her head and... Well, if you look at the pictures, you'll know the rest. That's an example perhaps we should all follow. We should irate. Except, of course, Marie Antoinette. And then there was Malesherbes, the brilliant man, brave. But then aristocracy comes from all classes. The Twisted Sister is here to say the imagination, the devil, that's who she is, murdered. Today, in this day and age, and I can hear the music of Rita Hayworth and the ballet. So I'll give it over to you. It was gone for some while, but now has been resurrected for this time. The Twisted Sister by David Dupin. It reminds me of Rome. The urn, the ashes, the vase. The police officer saw you through the bars, the voice said. He was the one who fired shots over your head. I've got to get out of here. It was all before. Or was it the future? The plane was flying as if into my head. The forehead front on. I saw the fire, the screaming, the whole crew, all screaming, children going off their heads as the plane crashed, and the explosion. Sit was sitting. I had to put it that way because 3 future, past, and present events, time converged, crossed over, and stopped. The clock had stopped. It could hardly. I thought, I hope so. I looked up. Suddenly I heard a young woman, Davina. It was. Hopefully, she said. She smiled. I looked up. Love is dead. dead in this world. Her eyes were loving, though. Beautiful. She looked modicum, a pittance. That's what I felt I needed at this moment of joy. Another of my sides. That's the first word he's spoken since he hit the tunnel, the officer said. Me? I looked up at him and said, me, hit the tunnel? I mean, talking about squeezed out of the tunnel, all of a sudden I remembered I'd squeezing out. Officer's cap was still on my head. How had it got stuck? It was coming out. Felt like the cockroach. Of course I did. It was a portrait. It had... alive, I'd seen it. Seen her. The tunnels, the walls of Versailles.